Things are about to change. Take one. Earlier this year, I made a video about the tough decision I had to make to stop developing my app Best Photos. And with that, there was actually a much bigger decision that I was contemplating at the time, and I ended up going through with that now. And that's, what does my YouTube channel look like going forward? And if you're more interested in just the smart home stuff, stay tuned for the end of the video, or use the chapters to jump to my predictions of what I think is going to happen with the future of the smart home. You see, YouTube is getting more and more competitive by the day, and it takes a lot of work and time and money to stay competitive on the platform and continue to make good content that you guys want to watch. And while I definitely enjoy it, it's a big commitment on my part, and I needed to take a serious look about whether it was still worth it for me to do YouTube. And at the same time, my 3 children, who are all getting to be more and more toddlers and just running around and making all kinds of chaos, which is a lot of fun in one sense, it just takes a lot of energy out of me. And same thing with, I recently changed jobs, and well, neither the jobs or the family are necessarily taking a lot more time. They take a lot more energy to just get through day-to-day operations. And I love both of them, and I'm very happy with both of them. But at the same time, I've finished my workday and I'm just out of gas to work on YouTube. And so I just don't have the energy to actually get more videos across the line. With that, over the 5 years I've done YouTube, I've tried these runs of doing a video every week, or then sometimes doing a video every other week. And each one of those times I end up burning out and just really hating the process. It's fun to make one video, and it's fun to have uploaded a video, but there's a lot of the process that is just tedious work for me, and I think for probably a lot of YouTubers. And so I found that over time, this process was continuing to detract more from my life and my energy than it was giving me the energy it once was, and sort of, giving me a rebound back into my family and work life, which are, just by nature of things, higher priorities for me than this YouTube channel. So I've decided that I want to take a break from YouTube, and I'm not completely quitting. I'm still keeping my channel active. I think that a lot of these videos here will still be helpful for people for a long time to come. And it is a channel in my name, so you might see me come back and have new content for you sometime in the future. I just don't know what that will look like or when that will be, but I want to leave you guys with some ideas of where I think the smart home industry is heading, because I've been in a position for probably the past year or more where I've been able to talk to a lot of people who know a lot more about the smart home industry than I do. I'm not saying that I have any kind of completely unique perspective, but I wanted to throw out my 2 cents because I think it might help you guys in making decisions about your smart home. So Matter is, of course, around the corner. I think whether or not Matter is maybe delayed again or not, I don't think it will be, but Matter is a big deal, and I really think it will transform the smart home and how it works. But I think there's a lot of people out there who want it to be a giant news story, like the launch of a new iPhone, where everybody rushes out and moves everything over to Matter immediately, and it all happens overnight, and then voila, everybody has a great smart home. But it's not going to be that way. I think that, a lot of people will start to take interest in smart home tech, or more interest in smart home tech, with Matter coming out and seeing various things about Matter. But like a lot of things in the smart home tech space, I think the rest of the tech world will be underwhelmed with how slow the transition actually takes. And so I think that maybe a year after Matter launches, we can start to look back and see a little bit of the progress we're making, because at the end of the day, people don't change out a lot of the stuff inside their homes super fast. If you're watching this channel, then you're probably on the early adopter side of this, especially focused on the Apple tech. And so you're way more likely to spend a chunk of your time every single weekend updating or maintaining things in your smart home. But that's just not how most people do things. And I think the one piece about Matter that no one is is talking about is what it will do for these smart assistants like Apple's Home app and the HomeKit ecosystem with Siri, and then of course Amazon's ecosystem, Google's Nest ecosystem, and any other kind of smart control platforms. And that's that with all of these different products being able to theoretically talk to any of these platforms, people are going to be trying out the different other platforms. And I think it could mean some significant growth for Apple's HomeKit, because there are a lot of easy ways to control devices with the Home app and HomeKit. And a lot of people who don't use the Home app and smart home tech from Apple also still have iPhones and iPads and Macs, but happen to use other smart home ecosystems if they do it all right now. And so I think a lot more people are going to start to try out things like the Home app. And because Apple has been steadily integrating it into iOS and iPadOS and macOS over time, and with HomePods and things, I think that gradually we'll see a lot more people interested in Apple smart home tech. And because on the flip side, one of the challenges with being a HomeKit fan, as you probably well know, is that a lot of devices are not compatible with Apple's HomeKit. And so it's hard to find devices, or at least a good set of options of certain types of products you might want to put in your home. And so I think Matter will also solve that side of it, of course, where more devices will work with Apple's smart home standard. And so again, I don't think any of this stuff is going to change overnight. I think we're more talking about the next year to 5 years. And I'm certainly going to be excited to watch and see what happens. And you never know. You might see me pop up here on YouTube again, but just long story short, YouTube hasn't really been fitting well into my life. And I think that for most people on YouTube, my channel included, there's sort of a minimum viable velocity of the amount of videos you need to keep publishing to stay in people's feeds and stay in people's minds. I don't see myself in this sort of new era of my life being able to dedicate the time I would need to make all of those videos. And so with that, if I'm not able to move at that minimum viable speed, then why bother with all of this commitment in the first place? Potentially that'll change in the future, and you'll see me back on YouTube or another video platform or something like that in the future. But for now, thanks again so much for watching, and I may or may not see you in the next one.